So I wanted to do a video today about warm-ups for singers because it's so important. And much like when you go to the gym and you do a warm-up before a big workout, your vocal folds are a muscle, and to get the most from them, you must be doing a proper warm-up first. Your voice will feel and function so much better when you've warmed it up. We're going to look at what we call semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, or SOVT for short, because it is a bit of a mouthful. And these exercises are used the world over by voice professionals, and they include things like the lip trill or lip bubble, the tongue trill, the straw exercise or straw phonation, and also things like humming. Now, semi-occluded means partially closed, and what all of those exercises have in common is the mouth is partially closed. So what happens, very simply, is this creates a back pressure in the mouth, and this allows the vocal folds to vibrate more efficiently and with less muscular effort. So what does this mean for you as a singer? Well, there are three main benefits to using these exercises as a singer. First and foremost, these exercises are incredibly therapeutic. So if you're doing a lot of gigging, a lot of performing, or maybe your voice is just very tired or you've been sick, these exercises are really going to support your development. Secondly, they encourage a balance in the voice. So you might be a singer that has a lot of press or squeeze in your voice, or you could be at the other side of the spectrum and have a lot of air and breath in your voice. And what these do is they allow the vocal folds to come together in a more balanced way and get the vocal folds functioning in a more optimal place. And they almost reset the larynx. And then finally, number three, they allow your vocal folds to stretch more effortlessly, which means you can really start to extend your vocal range, which of course is really important for us singers. So I'm going to show you a couple of these exercises. I'm going to show you with the straw, and I'm going to show you the lip trill or the lip bubble, and how to use them in a vocal warm-up situation. And also just some of the things to note, because these exercises can appear very simple on the surface, but actually they are quite easy to do wrong. And so you might inadvertently be hindering your vocal development by doing them wrong. So the first one we're going to look at is the straw. Now, any straw will do. I've just got a regular drinking straw that you can get in any supermarket, but you could use those shorter cocktail straws, those really thin ones, but play around with different lengths and different diameters of straw because they all have a different resistance. And the more resistance, the easier it is on your voice. So depends on what you need, but I'm just going to demonstrate with just a simple drinking straw. So the most important aspect of using the straw is you want to see the straw as an extension of your lips. One of the biggest things I see with people doing this wrong is they just sort of plonk the straw in their mouth and all the air is escaping around the straw. So if we're seeing this as an extension of the lips, then no air is escaping around the straw. The air is just going through the straw. So you want to pout your lips slightly, seal the straw, and then just make an ooh sound. Ooh, ooh. And you'll feel a buzzing around your mouth. And that is correct, because that means that the sound is being pushed forward versus you're pulling the sound back, which is another thing that some people will accidentally do. So rather than ooh, 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 they'll and you'll feel slightly strangled. Now, if you were trying to do this exercise like that, you're going to be like, I don't get why this is therapeutic. So make sure that you're feeling that forwardness in your voice and that buzzing around your lips. Now, just as a point to mention, when you start to go up your range, so you won't feel the buzzing. The buzzing is only at the bottom of your range. So find a comfortable place first in your voice and practice that forwardness. Practice sealing the straw, making sure it's correct, and then you can start to move around your voice. But we'll come to that in a second. I'll demonstrate a few things you can do with the straw. Now, the other thing you can do if you want extra resistance is to put the straw in water. Now, you don't need as much water as this, and you only need to put the straw in about 1 centimetre under the surface line. And then you basically do exactly the same thing. But you have that quite good visual cue to make sure that the air is being pushed forward, because you won't get the bubbles if it's not. Now then, the second one we can look at is what we call the lip trill or lip bubble, and this is used very commonly by singers, but again, it's very easy to do wrong, and some people find it incredibly difficult. Some people get it straight away. Now, normally the reason people find it so difficult is they're blowing way too much air through the lip trill. So they're doing a and it would just be exhausting to do it like that. But on the other side of the coin, what they can end up doing is actually putting too much muscle into it. And that would be exhausting too. So again, we want that nice balance in the voice. What we're aiming for is a nice clear tone. And so what I suggest you do first of all, just to make sure you get set up properly, put your fingers underneath your cheekbones and just create like sort of chubby cheeks. And then give yourself a bit of a pouty mouth, and then relax your lips, and then just get comfortable in that lower part of your voice first. Don't try and move too much. Just see if you can get that balance there first of all, so you're not blowing too much air and you're not squeezing and pushing and making it too muscular. So it's a nice, and then when you've got comfortable with that, you can start to move up and down. Now, with both the straw and the lip trill, the higher you go in your voice, I would suggest slightly and gently just pulling your tummy in, just to help you get those high notes that little bit easier. What do you do then in your particular warm-up? Well, it really depends on how your voice is feeling. So if you've been doing a lot of performing and gigging and your voice is tired, you might feel like the straw is where you want to start, because that's the most therapeutic thing you can really do for your voice. And in water is really super therapeutic. So if your voice is feeling fairly normal and fairly, you're not particularly sick or there's nothing really wrong with your voice, then the lip trill or lip bubble is really, really great. So a couple of things you can do. First of all is just go up and down. So just up and down very easily. And then you can start at the top. So bottom to top, and then you can start at the top and come down. What I would suggest is having a piano in front of you. You don't need to be able to play the piano. You might just need to know what the notes are. Because what this will do is this will allow you to have a real gauge of your voice, where your low notes are, where your high notes are. And when you're doing your warm-up, then you can make sure you cover your whole range. So you're not skipping notes, you're not starting too high, you're not stopping before you get to the top of your voice. You're really incrementally going through your voice note by note. And what I suggest to my clients that aren't musical and don't play the piano, just buy a really cheap keyboard, and on the internet, just get the names of the notes and just, literally stick them on the keys. And what I will do below is I will post below your starting notes depending on your voice type. So if you're a soprano or you're a baritone, so you know roughly where you should be starting in your voice. And then just keep going up until you can't sing anymore. Now, as long as you're not straining and pushing your voice, as long as it feels easy, keep going up, keep going up. Even if nothing comes out at the top, that's fine, because eventually it will start to open up. But if you never go up there, it will never open up. So start incorporating some of these exercises in your warm-up. Gauge your voice on a day by day what it needs. The other thing you can do is you can use these on the melody versus, going up on a scale pattern. So it's a great way to warm up your voice, but it's also a great way to learn a new song, or just get more familiar with a song that you're working on. So I hope that that's really helped you and given you some new ways to think about warming up your voice. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. If not, I will see you on another video.